Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. Into me with bright. Victory has defeated you.
Gotta know your next move when you speak to a boss. Gotta respect the dead when you speak on a loss. Everybody wanna taste of the skin sauce. When stacks got the facts, you don't hear them false. Gotta know your next move when you speak to a boss. Gotta respect the dead when you speak on a loss. Everybody wanna taste of the skin sauce. When stacks got the facts, you don't hear nothing false.
I used to be stacks with the packs, now I'm stacks with the facts. Now I drop knowledge. E&E coronavirus to take over. CW elite brethren, the wait's over, right? Y'all be addicted to the limelight, mediocre balls, knowing that y'all don't rhyme right. You fake woke niggas need to get your mind right. Stupid ass niggas, y'all bringing guns to a mind fight. Now let me slow it down so I can talk to you. I'm never letting up. If that's your thought, screw you. I hypnotize the track like a nigga practice voodoo. Voice of God, Crimson Mist, Tootsies and Hootsies. The rap game is in the abyss I can easily swim through. I'm like the Gordon Fisherman and you rappers are seafood. Grand champion, this bitch, you should call me your seafood. Make sure my energy is up cause the devil's deceitful. And everything that we see and sing ain't nothing but a dream inside of another dream. And everything that we see and sing ain't nothing but a dream inside of another dream.
Gotta know your next move when you speak to a boss. Gotta respect the dead when you speak on a loss. Everybody wanna taste of the skin sauce. When stacks got the facts, you don't hear nothing false. Gotta know your next move when you speak to a boss. Gotta respect the dead when you speak on a loss. Everybody wanna taste of the skin sauce. When stacks got the facts, you don't hear nothing false. Throw them all on a boat, start shipping them off. E&E, get gratuity for tipping them off. Find them in the West Wing, start clipping them off. Let stacks hold them up while I finish them off. I'm so no shit, man, I'm sick by the thought. That ocean 6, that Bellagio vault. Man, we killing everything like a British assault. And if they sick of these kids, we the illest of dogs. All these hating cats is fraud, filled with jealousy. Another beat murder, they charging me with accessory. Got the cook, got the ingredients and the recipe. Pardon me, I'm still smoking on hydrotherapy. Literally, still getting paper with the printer off. Y'all still don't got no bar, that's a winning off. So fuck y'all, get a permanent flick off. Don't speak to me for less than 250, that's a rip off. Man, next move before you speak to a boss. Gotta respect the dead when you speak on a loss. Everybody wanna taste of this E&E sauce. When stacks got the facts, you don't hear nothing false. Gotta know your next move before you speak to a boss. Gotta respect the dead when you speak on a loss. Everybody wanna taste of this E&E sauce. When stacks got the facts, you don't hear nothing false.
I being poor, and only my dreams. I spread my dreams under your feet. Tread softly, because you tread on my dreams. I assume you dream.
I assume that y'all dream, right? I'll keep telling y'all, this is one of my favorite quotes. Right? My nigga W.B. Yeats. Right? William Butler Yeats. One of my favorite authors. Right? Of our modern era. Right? Right? But I, being poor, have only my dreams. I spread your dreams, my dreams, under your feet. Tread softly, for you tread upon my dreams. And I had to get my man Sick on that song, right? Because when I heard the beat, Pause, he was the first one to come to my mind, right? Shout out to my man Narcissus the Sick, right? Yeah. What up? It's your brethren, your brother Virgil Beery, aka Stacks with the Facts. And y'all know y'all tuned in to another episode of
Real Talk Podcast. And we here, Jack. Right? We here, man. You feel me? And it's a beautiful thing, man. Right? How everybody doing tonight? Get your shells out, roll your trees up, because tonight we're going to get to it. Right? How everybody doing, man? The Most High woke us all up today, and we've been awake ever since. It's a beautiful thing. Everything else is extra. We already won. We got the victory and the honor and the glory already. Right? We got the victory and the honor and the glory already. So it's a beautiful thing, man. Right? Y'all go check out reading material from the homie William Butler Yeats, right? Now tonight, how many of y'all know about this? Y'all been hearing about this? Right? Y'all been hearing about this, man? Tox Beats, what's good with you, bro? I'm about to pull it up on the screen for y'all right now, man. Right? Right? How many of y'all, especially my people from New York, man, how many of y'all heard, how many of y'all have heard, right, about New York Rule 213? Right? This is crazy, y'all, man. You hear me? This is absolutely insane. All right. Now, see, now when you look this up, I'm letting y'all know right now. I'm about to show y'all. Right? Right? So you look this up on the internet, it's going to be a whole bunch of misleading shit. Right? Now, I'm going to show y'all this because I'm about to break this down for y'all, right? Now, see, when you look this up on Google, it's going to bring up some real estate law, right? Zoning laws, property laws, yeah, right, when it comes to property. But I want y'all to understand this, though, right? Be able to connect the dots. Understand how this law or this ordinance or this zoning law in conjunction or relationship to property laws is in direct connection with Rule 213, right? Which in all actuality is this. Oh, this is something different. Hold on, my fault. So let me find the right thing. And notice, y'all, they're not talking about this shit on the news at all. Right? I don't want to see no PDF file, man. Okay, here we go right here, y'all, man. Tap in, walk with us, man. Listen. Now, y'all remember what was happening a couple years ago, right? And I want to remind y'all, right? Because, you know, now that things seemingly have went back to normal, right? People tend to forget what we just experienced. That's fun. Right? Uncle Diggity, what's good with you, bro? We got my brother Uncle Diggity and my man Tox Beats in the building, amongst others, man. I know y'all in the clit owls watching, man. Smash that like button. I don't care. You ain't got to tap in to say nothing. Just hit the like button, man. Hit the unlike button if you want to. Shit. Just, you know, don't just come up in here and be ghost with cloud watching, man. You know what I'm talking about? Contribute to the situation, right? What y'all know about Rule 213, man? Now, during a couple years ago, right? A couple years ago, we was going through the situation we was going through. And throughout various states, there were certain laws concerning quarantine regulations and parameters that each state enacted during the duration of what was determined or called being dubbed lockdown. And let me tell y'all something, man. That whole situation is crazy. And let me tell y'all why. It was a huge mind effing psyop. Because we actually did not have to lock it down. We didn't have to quarantine. We didn't have to stay in the house. There was not military on the street corners making sure and walking up and down the streets, making sure ain't nobody come out their house. You could definitely come out your house. I was outside all the time, the entire time. I absolutely refused to stay indoors. So it's very amazing to me to see how primed and prepped we are as a whole for complete and total shutdown and takeover. Y'all actually willingly, wittingly, voluntarily locked yourselves down. That's scary. Because, see, I've actually been on real lockdown. I've been in solitary confinement. It ain't nothing nice about it. I would never choose wittingly, willingly, intentionally, voluntarily to go to solitary confinement. Although my mind is strong enough to where it wouldn't break me, because it hasn't, but I wouldn't want to go there. See, and this is not me bragging, y'all. Anybody who actually knows me will tell you this in real life, right? See, I'm a strong-minded guy. You know, although I'm pretty positive that I could be sitting in the hole if I had to for an extended amount of time, I'm not naive enough to say that that would not have a lasting effect on me. Now, would it be negative? No, probably. I'm gonna say no. But to think you're going to go be in any situation and type of environment that you're not used to being in and think that that's not going to somehow have an effect on you in some way, you bugging. Right? It ain't necessarily got to be a negative effect on you, but it's going to affect you. Trust me. Right? I've actually been on lockdown before. I'm not bragging, I'm just telling y'all. I've been in solitary confinement. Right? And the fact that y'all willingly, wittingly, intentionally, voluntarily locked down, that's scary. That lets me know that y'all are psychologically, perceptually, and even physically, mentally prepared to be basically slaves again. As if we aren't slaves already. Right? With the illusion of choice. The delusion of choice. Okay, so in New York, right? In New York, y'all remember what happened in Rockland, New York? Not too long ago. What was it called? Newtown, New York. Y'all remember what happened in Rockland County, New York State? Oh, I want to say about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, around the same time as the so-called pandemic. I'll come back to that, right? I'll come back to that. You did. You know, I gotta talk shit, y'all. Right? See, at the time of the pandemic, HOCHUL wasn't the governor of New York. Who was the governor at the time? Huh? Let's read the article. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, y'all. We going in, right? Pause. Let me blow this up on the screen a little bit for y'all, man, so we can get some real clear. Senator George Borrello urges Governor HOCHUL to refrain from reissuing Rule 2.13. Issue is isolation and quarantine. Every single state has similar legislation during the so-called pandemic, right? Right? Just in case y'all didn't know, Albany is the capital of New York, not New York City, right? Request comes in wake of appellate division reversal of lower court ruling in Burrell et al. Versus HOCHUL. In the wake of the appellate division's dismissal of a lower court ruling in favor of the plaintiffs in Borrello et al. V. HOCHUL, Senator George Borrello has penned a letter to Governor HOCHUL requesting that her administration refrain from reissuing Rule 213, isolation and quarantine procedures. Senator Borrello cited the constitutional concerns around the rule that were referenced by State Supreme Court Judge Ronald Pletz in his original ruling on the case. His July 2022 decision was in favor of the petitioners, Senator Borrello, Congressman Mike Lawler, Assemblyman Chris Tague, and the citizens group Uniting NYS, right? In dismissing our challenge on the basis of standing, the appellate division conveniently sidestepped the important questions in this case about the constitutional separation of powers. Judge Pletz thoroughly reviewed that issue and ultimately agreed with us, citing the fact that the state legislature had already spoken on the issue of isolation and quarantine orders when they enacted Public Health Law 2120 in 1953, said Senator Borrello. Judge Pletz underscored the fact that Rule 213 2.13, I should say, actually conflicts with PHL 2120, effectively creating its own broad policy rather than simply outlining the technical details of existing statute, which would have been within the scope of the regulatory role, Senator Borrello said. Right? Right? Oh, damn. Judge Pletz hold on, my fault. I'm tripping on. God damn. The fact that the appellate division chose to take a pass rather than address the core issue of the case doesn't erase the fact that the HOCHUL administration violated the separation of powers in promulgating this regulation, says Senator Borrello. The sole judicial judgment on that issue agreed with us. Senator Borrello reiterated the intent of the plaintiffs to appeal the decision to the Court of Appeals. The administration win on paper is an empty one without a judgment on the merits of the case. Nonetheless, for us to let this stand unchallenged would pave the way for future abuses of power. Yes, of course it would. And loss of freedoms. Yes, as desired. New Yorkers deserve and expect, says Senator Borrello. The HOCHUL administration can end this now by removing their support for this heinous regulation. Barring that, we are hopeful that the Court of Appeals will agree that there are profound issues at stake and agree to review this case. The letter sent to Governor HOCHUL is attached. Right? So there we have that article right there. See? Oh, gee, what's up? See, I just realized you posted that in the chat, Tox, while I was reading the article. See what Tox found? Already bringing bad news to 2024. Alex Jones claims blue cities and states will announce new COVID power grab measures in 20. I mean, look at what's going on. I mean, this is listen, y'all, and this is why we talking about. This is confirmation of the information that Tox said that allegedly through this article, Alex Jones is clearly have already spoke on this. I just read y'all the article. Right? So basically, y'all, Rule 2.13 in New York was the legislation they came up with, right? That governed, you know what I'm saying, how things were to operate and function during lockdown. Do this moment, right? You feel me? You feel me? Right? All states had very similar legislation. Now, after Schmoment was over, most states, not all states, did away with that legislation because there was no need to continue to keep it because there's no longer that situation going on. And just like I just read to y'all, to even fathom having this legislation enacted and it's not a current lockdown quarantine situation, that insults our intelligence, is very telling, and it lets you know what they got in store for 2024. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. We're going to open up the chat here in an hour, about another 30 minutes. As of today, we're going to keep the shows 2 hours and under. Right? How many of y'all know about this? How many of y'all heard about this? Put a number 11 in the chat if you heard about this. Do y'all understand what this means? The very fact that this case is even being heard in front of a appellate court, which means they are appealing it. I keep telling y'all, man, 2024 is going to be a very interesting year. Remember what I be telling y'all, man. Go get y'all some outdoor survival training, man. Get y'all's ass in the gym. I'm not sitting up here when I go to the gym making shorts about being up in the gym because I'm not even that buff, man. I'm not even like super jacked or ripped or nothing. I'm just in shape and I'm strong and I'm decent, like how I want to be. I don't even go hard in the gym. Pause. If I went hard in the gym, I want to be strong and lithe. You hear me? I want to be strong and lithe, virile, and full of stamina, which I am. Right? Man, y'all, man, listen here, y'all, man. And so it starts. And I got to agree with Alex Jones. This is a bad start off to the year, man. Notice how this is not being discussed on mainstream media. Hey, I got an idea, y'all. How about we go see if we can find some articles on this? Right? 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 XL Pro in the building. What happened? Let's see if we can find any of the mainstream media outlets speaking on this. Right? But when I type it in a Google search, when I type it in a YouTube search engine, nothing pops up on it. Nothing. Literally nothing, y'all. So, you know, that don't really mean anything. But when you know something is being discussed or talked about on YouTube, if you start typing the name of it in, you know, it'll pop up. That didn't happen just now due to the auto pen. So, you know. You feel me? Let's see if we can find some news coverage on this, right? Right? Let's see if we can find some legislation on New York Rule 213. Let's see if I can find any discussion about this. Uh-oh, a month ago. Let's go.
Has been overturned. The decision in a lawsuit over the state's controversial COVID quarantine regulations has been overturned following arguments heard in September. An appellate court ruled the state's commissioner of health is allowed to issue quarantine orders to control the disease. The ruling states the plaintiffs lacked standing in their complaint that the regulations overstep the separation of powers. The decision comes after a lawsuit was filed against Governor Kathy Hochul and the Department of Health. The plaintiffs won that. Then State Attorney Letitia James appealed. The plaintiffs, including Republican State Senator George Borrello, now plan to take this to the state's highest court.
Right. Right. Now, I want to show y'all this is from a year ago, right?
New year means new laws in New York that were passed by legislators in Albany. People earning minimum wage will get a little boost in their paycheck. It's going up to $14.20, but This doesn't impact New York City, Long Island, and Westchester County, which already have higher minimum wages. The Paid Family Leave Act was also expanded to add siblings to the definition of who qualifies as a family member. And beginning next week, new drivers in New York will be required to undergo pedestrian and bicyclist safety awareness when getting their licenses. And there is a new law that will allow registered voters to cast their ballot at the wrong polling place as long as they are in the correct county and assembly district.
Right. Right. Man.
For you, good to see you. So one is state law.
We got New York Governor Kathy Hochul, right? Let me pull her up on the screen, y'all. Smash that like on y'all. Click on the bell, subscribe to the page, man. Right? This lady, right? Damn, Patrick, what's good, man? Right? This is New York Governor Katherine Hochul, who took over after Cuomo. Cuomo, one of the Cuomo brothers, got him through, right? And she's pushing this right here, right? Where she was.
Demonstrators in New York City's Staten Island neighborhood are celebrating the blocking of a...
Hold on. Okay, now that's going too far back, right?
Restrictions were eliminated more than a year ago, but the legal battle continues over whether similar measures could be put in place in the future.
A judge has overturned a prior decision ruling New York's isolation and quarantine protocols were unconstitutional. News 10 ABC's Capital correspondent Jamie DeLine breaks down that case.
It was a measure that took effect during the pandemic, giving the Commissioner of Health the power to direct local health authorities to issue isolation and quarantine orders to control the spread of highly communicable diseases.
Little did we know that it was that the legislature had been circumvented and the governor had put this in as a public health law.
Assemblyman Chris Tague, two other Republican lawmakers, and an organization called Uniting NYS filed a lawsuit against the governor, state health department, and New York's attorney general, saying it overstepped the separation of powers.
We went to court, filed suit, went to court, and we won in Cattaraugus County.
The court in July of 2022 decided the isolation and quarantine law was unconstitutional. However, the case was appealed, and a judge recently reinstated it, saying those who brought the case didn't meet the qualifications to bring the case forward under state law. The court document saying, quote, that the legislator petitioners failed to fulfill the injury in fact requirement to establish standing.
We have no standing in the case. We're all residents in the state of New York, and we're all affected by a rule like this.
Tague says, unlike the previous ruling, this one wasn't about the merits of the case. His lawyer is now in the process of filing paperwork for the Court of Appeals. When asked for a statement, the New York State Department of Health told me, quote, we do not comment on ongoing litigation. The governor's office and AG's office did not respond to a request for comment. Reporting in Albany, I'm Jamie DeLine.
You talking about usurping and circumventing the law. If I lived in New York, I would be getting up out of there. And let me tell you why, right? Because New York is head, man, listen. Y'all better pay attention to what's going on, man. I keep telling y'all about this stuff, man. I ain't about to stop either, man. You know, and y'all going to sit up here and witness this stuff, man. Right? And y'all going to realize that a lot of conversations we be having for real, I myself am guilty of this, so it's not like I'm proselytizing or finger wagging. Just you know, bringing awareness to, right? We really need to be focusing on some shit that's really going on that's serious, man. As we are on the brink of lockdown again, right? Starting with New York. Oddly enough, they also got the illegal immigration situation going up there as well. So that's going to be crazy, right? Wow. You know, so where's these diseases coming from, right? I want y'all to understand what the implications of this legislation being passed is. They appealed it and they didn't grant it, right? So it's still in effect, y'all. You know, they can issue a quarantine right now, like they did in New York City, like they did all over the state of New York, and like they specifically did in Newtown, New York, in Rockland County a few years ago. Do y'all remember that, man? We about to talk about it. See, this is why I say I would get out of New York, because clearly this legislation ain't going nowhere in New York. Y'all going to have to just non-act. What I've been telling y'all. What have I been saying, y'all? Non-acquiescent and non-compliance. That is the only way in mass. In mass. Not just a few people, 100 people. No, tens of 20s of hundreds of thousands to millions. Y'all better understand what's going on, man. I want y'all to understand what's going on, man. Right? I want y'all to understand what's going on, man. Katherine HOCHUL. Right? Right? Kathy HOCHUL is an American politician serving as the 57th governor of New York since August 24th, 2021. Right, they got Cuomo's ass out of there, right? And member of the Democratic Party, she is New York's first female governor, as well as the first governor from upstate New York since Nathan L. Miller became New York's governor in 1920. Born in Buffalo, the second of 6 children, family of Irish Catholic descent, with a name like HOCHUL, I beg to differ. Irish Catholic descent. She graduated from Syracuse University, blah, 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 right? Oh, Andy. My fault, I keep calling her Catherine. It's Kathleen, my bad. All right. So I didn't really get into HOCHUL's background, who her father is, who her mother is. I didn't feel it necessary. Although I'm pretty sure if I did, I would find some shit. Lance Parker, what's good, bro? Right? I'm pretty sure I would find some shit. Right? But, you know, she's the governor, Democratic governor, Democratic governor. Right? So she's pushing the agenda. I'm pretty sure if I looked into Kathleen HOCHUL's background, I'm pretty sure as we look on Wikipedia, I'm pretty sure I'll find some shit. I'm almost positive I'll find some shit. But that's not necessary. This is not a show about Kathleen HOCHUL. So we ain't gonna sit up there and do that. Smash that like button, y'all. Listen, I want y'all to be prepared for what possibly potentially is very. Remember when I just did the show, y'all, right? Look who she in the picture with. That tell you everything you know about, need to know about people, man. Look who these people are connected to, related to, in business with. Pay attention to these niggas, man. Pay attention to these people, y'all. Where all my New York brethren and sisters at, man? Y'all brothers and sisters in New York, man, if y'all ain't gonna leave, which listen here, and this is the reason why I say it though, man, because it's not gonna change, right? But what I will say, this is what I will say. If you're going to stay in New York, which I probably would if I lived in New York and was from New York, be prepared to non-acquiesce and non-comply en masse. Because they're not letting up on this at all. So I want y'all in New York to be prepared, man. I'll keep telling y'all, man. UN Agenda 2030 for global sustainability, man. Right? They got all these illegal immigrants coming to New York. Flooding New York. Bringing all types of we don't know. All types of we don't know. Right? Right? Check this.
Back now with the record number of migrants crossing into the U.S., pushing resources to the limit in many American cities. Now hospitals are sounding the alarm, saying they're also overwhelmed, including some far from the border. Julia Ainsley has our report.
Tonight, the border crisis surging. Officials telling NBC News there were over 200,000 illegal crossings at the southern border last month, and a record 3 million migrants crossed the border in the last year. Now, a new warning 1,000 miles away in New York City, where officials tell us resources are overwhelmed. Across public hospitals in New York City over the last year, nearly 30,000 visits by migrants and 300 new babies born to migrant moms. Staff here at Bellevue Hospital tell us they're eager to help, but the numbers are tough.
This has been the hardest work that I've ever done, but it's been the most impactful work that I've ever done.
And most of the visits to the taxpayer-funded legal clinic here are by migrants.
Our clinics are full, and there are waiting lists, and people are turning people away or referring them to other places.
Randy Redkin from New York's Legal Assistance Group says so many migrants are asking for legal help on asylum representation and healthcare access. Now, she says, American citizens who need legal assistance with issues like eviction and insurance have to wait up to 10 weeks.
Hey.
If you ask me, do we need more resources for legal services? I would say absolutely yes.
Meanwhile, New York's governor now slamming the situation at the border.
It is too open right now. People coming from all over the world are finding their way through, simply saying they need asylum.
And New York Mayor Eric Adams saying providing services for migrants will cost city taxpayers $12 billion. But Biden administration officials have blamed Adams' response. It is not an operationally sound effort, one senior DHS official told NBC News. Meanwhile, migrants on the streets are desperate for city help. We met Orlando, who fled violence in Venezuela. He didn't want to appear on camera, telling us he slept on the street before coming to Bellevue for cancer treatment.
How is that for you, given your medical condition?
So
To be sleeping on the street.
you have to make believe it's a good bed, a king size, and you lie down wherever and go to sleep, he says. Orlando tells us he came to New York because he heard about the social services the city would offer to migrants like himself, who are trying to start a new life. The Biden administration.
This is crazy, right, y'all, man? Listen.
Are turning up the heat on President Joe Biden on another issue. They want action on a long simmering crisis, stopping the flow of migrants surging illegally into the country. Capitol Hill correspondent Eric Gonzalez reports.
Republicans say President Biden and his Vice President border czar are ignoring the crisis at the southern border. They say the problem is getting worse, especially after Panama officials warned that some 60,000 new Haitian migrants are on the way. The latest numbers from U.S. Customs and Border Protection show
Oh, don't think it's just Mexicans coming up here, illegal immigrants. No, it's illegal immigrants coming from everywhere. Now, notice who they say is coming from.
was just as bad as previous months. Agents had more than 208,000 encounters, 405 accompanied minors, and more than 86,000 individuals in a family unit. Republicans say President Biden is causing this disaster by
immediately halting construction of the border wall that happened on day one, reinstituting the failed policy of catch and release that also happened on day one, and most indefensibly ending the incredibly successful Remain in Mexico international agreement.
During the press conference, I asked Senator Marshall, who is a doctor. Most of these migrants are not being medically checked for COVID. Are you concerned about a spike in diseases that have been eradicated in the past?
I can't help but stop and just think about the Afghanistan refugees coming across as well. The highest rate of tuberculosis in that part of the world as well. The only countries in the world still with polio, Afghanistan and Pakistan.
House members and border agents agree.
This administration under President Biden has basically aligned the American government with human traffickers and drug traffickers. It's insane.
Once we have the illegal immigration problem under control, then we can go after the criminality on the border. We can go after the cartels. Right now, we just can't do it because our resources are completely and totally tied up dealing with the magnet that is catch and release.
It's important to note the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops opposes enforcement-only immigration policies and supports comprehensive immigration reform. Tomorrow, several of President Biden's cabinet members are headed to Mexico City to talk about the border crisis and trans-border crime.
Right. Bringing diseases and some more stuff, man. Right? These people are coming from war-torn countries, disease and poverty-stricken countries, you know, where it's political upheaval, corruption to levels that we haven't experienced over here in America on the scale that they do. Right? So with that being said, you know, to some degree, we got to have some empathy, but understand that all these people coming up here, man, these ain't like the top creme de la creme of Central and Southern American society and Haitian society, man. You think they sending their best people over here, man? See, it'll come to a point, y'all, when we having these conversations that we just have to be honest about the situation and the conversation. Right now, when it comes to Rule 213, man, they can issue quarantine on when they want to, man. I mean, it's kind of natural though, man. You got to think about it though, y'all, man. We got people coming from all over Central America, all over South America, Haiti, all over the Caribbean, Africa, the Middle East, Israel, Palestine, whatever. We got people coming from everywhere, man. Y'all done seen them videos that my brother read them play when they had the people saying they from there. People was from saying, I'm from Afghanistan, from Africa, from here, and from there. I'm like, God damn. Right? But I want to take y'all on a trip down memory lane. And we staying it, my fault, we keeping it in New York. Pause. Right? We're going to stay in New York with it. And y'all heard me mention it, man. Y'all remember when this happened, man? I wonder how many of y'all remember when this happened. Tap in, walk with us, man. Was that March? What, 2020? 2020. Where I'm gonna find that story at, y'all? Let me see. Let me try this right here. Let me find it. Y'all remember this, man? 2019, my fault, y'all. 2019. Right? Do y'all remember this? Y'all remember this? Y'all remember the 2018-2019 measles outbreak in Rockland County, New York State? Huh? Yeah, you're right. You remember that, OG? You definitely right about that, Uncle Diggity, man. You got to think, man. Think how many illegal immigrants have been coming to New York for the past year based off of this border situation alone. Crazy. I'm pretty sure it's more than 1 million. I'm positive it's somewhere around there. Right? You remember this, OG? Yeah, man. I keep telling y'all, man, I do my due diligence, man. Right? Y'all remember this right here? I'll tell you, man, New York, y'all, man. Y'all better not acquiesce to this shit, man. You hear me? You hear me? Right? Y'all remember this, man? Remember? Let me find the article. I know they probably still got something on YouTube about this. What? Now listen here, y'all. Listen here, y'all. Now, as we sit up here talking about Rule 2.313, right? and we referencing back down memory lane to Rockland County, New York, right? 3 hours ago, just listen to this.
Following more breaking news right now on the New York State Thruway in Ramapo, where a state trooper was injured after a deadly shootout.
CBS 2's Tony Aiello is live now on the scene with the latest developments from there. Tony.
New York State Police say a suspect who opened fire on state troopers is dead. We can still see the body on the highway behind me. A trooper was injured, being treated at a hospital. We're told the injuries are minor. So I'm standing on the bridge that leads to the village of Hilburn, if you know this area. This is pretty much where Rockland, Bergen, and Orange counties all meet.
So as we're sitting here talking about Rockland County, New York State, specifically when we're referring to this measles outbreak, the city of Newtown, but this happened at the intersection of 4 different counties. A state trooper was injured in a deadly shootout today with the state troopers and the police in Rockland County. Right? That's just it's crazy, man. Right? I'm about to get a story for y'all real quick. Hold on. Right?
And one of them is in intensive. We already have 2 children who have been hospitalized with the measles, and one of them is in intensive care.
Rockland County health officials warn measles are more than that uncomfortable rash. In just 2 weeks, the number of confirmed cases has gone from 11 to 40. Nearly 1 dozen more suspected. Most of those affected are students.
It's pretty scary.
Starting on Monday, students in New Square who have not received a measles vaccine will be forced to stay home from school. A similar policy is in place all across the county, only at schools that have a low vaccination rate. Health officials say this impacts more than 1,000 students.
I know some parents believe in, our anti-vaccinations, but if it's for their health and security, it's got to be done. I think it should be a mandate.
According to the state health department, students in kindergarten through 12th grade must have at least 2 doses of the measles vaccine. But there are some exceptions.
I have met with the rabbis, and I've asked them directly if there's a religious reason why people should not be vaccinated. And the answer was no.
The new policy gives parents 2 options. Either they vaccinate their child, or the student will have to stay home from school until the measles outbreak is over, which could be weeks or even months. In Rockland County, Andrea Klein-Thomas, TV 1055.
Now, we mentioned Rockland County.
Right? Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? So not only if your child was unvaccinated, they had to stay home. Anybody who was under the age of 18 and unvaccinated was not allowed to be in anywhere public. They were even talking about issuing ID bans for children who were under 18. Let me see if I can find an article when they was doing that shit. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, man. Y'all remember this, man? Yeah, this is what it is right here. In an effort to stem a measles outbreak, that has sickened more than 100 children, officials in Rockland County, New York on Tuesday unveiled what appeared to be a radical plan, banning all unvaccinated minors from public places for 30 days. The ban was, they said, unprecedented. It also apparently has no teeth. Authorities admitted they will not be chasing down those without their shots and that the declaration was primarily educational. Still, the announcement is a sign of how desperate public health officials are to bring the outbreak, one of several across the country, fueled by anti-smackser movement, under control. In order to prevent any more children from falling ill with this dangerous disease, I am today declaring a county-wide state of emergency, County Executive Ed Day said at a press conference Tuesday. Effective at the stroke of midnight tonight, March 27th, 2018, anyone who is under 18 years of age and is unvaccinated against measles will be barred from public places until the declaration expires in 30 days or until they receive their first shot of MMR. They added, clarifying that the decree wouldn't apply to those with documented medical reasons to not vaccinate. Sound like a bold, aggressive counterpunch to a disease that swept across the country in recent months and affected hundreds of people. There will not be deputy sheriffs or law enforcement asking for your vaccination records, they said. That is ridiculous. To repeat, that is not, nor will it ever be, the focus of this effort. However, if you are found to be in a violation of this declaration, your case will be referred to the district attorney office. And let me ask y'all something, man. Right? All my critical thinkers out there. Let me read this again, and I'm going to read it slow. See, this is what I be talking about, y'all, when I be trying to insult our intelligence, and they be double talking, man. You got to read these articles, and you got to really pay attention to what they're saying. There will not be deputy sheriffs or law enforcement asking for your vaccination records, they said. That is ridiculous. To repeat, that is not, nor will it ever be, the focus of this effort. However, if you are found to be in violation of this declaration, your case will be referred to the district attorney office. So what is that saying? What's the point of having the ordinance in order if we don't have, I mean, like, see, there's lots of questions that came along with this. I want to say, man, did I do it? No, I probably just went live talking about this shit because I don't think I was doing videos and shit back in 2018, 2019. I don't even think I was in media school yet. Or just in media. I still was working back then, man. Damn, man, this time be going by fast. A lot can change in 3-4 years, man. Anyway, right? Lots of questions, though, y'all, man, right? Y'all remember this, man? Okay, so if the law can't be enforced, what's the point of it being a law? And not only that, right? Pay attention to the language, man. You gotta pay attention to the language, man, because this stuff will go over your head if you ain't paying attention, or you got the eyes to see this stuff, man. It says, however, if you are found to be in violation of this declaration, your case will be referred to the district attorney's office. So that's like a threat. It's like a soft shoe threat. Like, I mean, ain't nobody gonna really be running around checking your IDs and running your medical records, because you gotta think questions coming to mind. How are they going to access that information? How, if you was to be accosted by a police officer, sheriff, whoever, how would they be able to determine if you were vaccinated? How would they know? How would they be able to find out, Johnny, on the spot like that? Are we carrying cards now? Show us your papers. Show me your papers. Everybody who sit in the clouds and tap in with me from one night to be on Facebook, man, listen. Y'all remember when I used to tell y'all they're going to start asking us where our papers is at soon? We're going to, man, see, we ain't going to have to carry no physical papers because we heading into the digital era. We heading into the virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality era. So there's no need to carry papers. This is the reason why they're pushing the ID thing. digital ID. Man, y'all better listen, man. And this is before Schmoment. This is 2000. This is a year before Schmoment. This happened 2018, 2019, y'all. This is like 4 or 5 years ago. 6. Right? So they already got away with it in New York for 30 days. If you was 18 and under, no matter that they didn't enforce it, who's to say that they didn't enforce it just because it was like a beta test. It was basically to see if people would acquiesce to it. Because they know there's no way they could enforce that unless they're bringing in the military and by force. You got a lot of police officers who's just not going to do certain things, man, because it goes against their morals and values as being people who want to protect and serve, not the law, but the people with the law, right? Not the law with the people. Did y'all catch that? I said the role of police officers, law enforcement, is to protect the people with the law, not protect the law with the people. Y'all go look into this, man. Y'all remember when the measles was going on right before the so-called pandemic, and they was trying to force people in Newtown, Rockland County, New York, because it was 150 some odd cases reported or whatever. They try to enforce these draconian laws. How would they be able to tell that you was vaccinated? All right. Just in case. Y'all remember track and trace? Huh? My Joe from Chicago, Mr. O, what happened, man?
United Kingdom now has the highest coronavirus death toll in Europe. The UK surpassed Italy's numbers with more than 32,000 reported deaths. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who was hospitalized with the virus, said that Britain had passed the peak. The United States is now the only country with more reported deaths than the United Kingdom. The British government is urging residents to use a new coronavirus contact tracing app in an effort to track the spread of COVID-19 across the country. Andy Moore from our partners with the BBC has the details.
The NHS COVID-19 app lets you know quickly if you've come into contact with someone who has symptoms.
This is the NHS app that could play a key role in stopping a second wave of the virus.
Place your phone screen down.
It's already been trialled on a small scale at an RAF base in North Yorkshire. Now it's being rolled out across the Isle of Wight. Today, council staff and healthcare workers will be able to download it. On Thursday, the general public on the island will have access. The new app uses a phone's Bluetooth connection to work. Once you've installed the app, every time you come into contact with someone else who has it, your phone records that fact. Then if you tell the app you have symptoms of COVID-19, the other people who you've been close to will be.
Around the world, lockdowns are easing, and a new approach is taking center stage.
Tracing and quarantining every contact.
We will have a test, track and trace operation that will be world beating.
We need that tool so we can open up the economy.
But can track and trace deliver? And can we trust it? Time and again in March, we heard about flattening the curve. And in most countries, it's happened. These are infection rates in the UK, Italy, and France. And because of graphs like these, lockdowns are being eased. But now attention's turning to controlling new outbreaks. The WHO is clear. When systematically applied, contact tracing will break the chains of transmission of an infectious disease and thus is an essential public health tool. So what is contact tracing? Well, this is about countries knowing who has the virus and who they've been in contact with, but it comes in many forms. Some systems are digital, some manual, some both, some are voluntary, like in Australia, Germany, and Singapore. Some, such as China and South Korea, are definitely not. And however you do this, there are major challenges. One of the reasons is personal data. Phones are being used to monitor proximity to other people and location, and the data.
See, man, we already been desensitized to all of this stuff too, man. Right? Oh, damn, I'm tripping, y'all. I'm bugging, man. You know, we get to chopping it. I'll just be, you know, I just dropped the lit ink, man. Y'all brothers and sisters can come on up if y'all want to speak on this, man. Listen, man. I keep telling y'all, man. UN Agenda 2030 for global sustainability.
Always anonymized. China and South Korea monitor the location of people who have the virus and their payment history, and they don't ask permission. And both have largely tracked the virus effectively. But in South Korea, at least, there's awareness this approach is unusual.
확보할 수 있단 말이죠. 이거 사실은 아주 무서운 현실입니다. 그러나 감염병 사태가 아니라면 절대 그래서는 안 되지만.
Scary is the word for many people, unacceptably scary, whatever the public health benefits. Amnesty International has warned Bahrain, Kuwait, and Norway's contact tracing apps are highly invasive surveillance tools. Well, now Norway's suspended its app, and Germany's been mindful of these concerns. Its app doesn't log your location, but there's an acknowledged tension here between protecting people's privacy.
Hey, whenever, man, listen, let me tell y'all something, man. Let me tell y'all something, man. Don't ever believe any of that stuff. They tell, man, listen here, y'all. When y'all think about privacy, just go ahead and remove it from the lexicon. There's no more such thing as privacy. Everything's being monitored. Everything's being surveilled. I want y'all to assume that you are being watched, monitored, listened to, and surveilled, recorded at every waking day of your life. Right? I want you to assume that. And you know, over here at Able Talk, we don't do a lot of assuming. But assume that. And when you really put your mind frame in the frame of thinking like that, you'll be a little bit more mindful, not only what you say, but how you move. Now, see, there's nothing wrong with that to an extent. But if you allow that to prevent you from speaking your mind versus within this structure that's coming up, learning how to navigate, like my brother Red say, navigate through it so you can. That's why I say we got to box cleverly with our language. You hear me? Yeah, 20 years ago, longer than that, OG, but you privacy is a dead concept, y'all. Get it out your psyche, get it out your head. There's no more privacy. You get these, man, they know they watching and they listening, man. Don't ever think that you can get some type of app. That shit work against us, and it's to an extent, because if you get you a tech savvy guy like myself who know about IP addresses and tracking and all that stuff, you know that we ain't worried about stuff like that. Right? This is crazy, man. This is crazy. And this is going to be spreading possibly, potentially to all Democratic states. So y'all keep that in mind if you live in the Democratic state. This could possibly, potentially be a situation going on in your state, if not already happening or in the process of making happen. You feel me? This is crazy, y'all, man. Let's look at some of these TikToks, man, talking about this situation. Let me pull something out for y'all real quick. All right. Oh, so I ain't got no shorts. Well, damn. Let me try this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is they banning the TikToks from YouTube of seeing it? Is that what's going on? I should be able to see some of that. Right? I should be able to see some of these, man. Let's do this right here. Here we go right here. That's what I had to do.
Are you in New York? Well, you better not cough, because if you do, they can take you away. As a matter of fact, even if you're not coughing, they can take you away. Under the new Rule 2.13, isolation and quarantine procedures gives the state of New York the ability to come into your home and take you away to quarantine without any notice for any virus or infection they they deem necessary.
I'm going to play this back, y'all. I want y'all to understand the severity of this. Under this legislation, this Rule 2.13, they can come and apprehend you from your home while you at work, school, whatever, and sequester you off into a secluded location indefinitely, all based upon if they think or in fact you prove to be sick with whatever disease, like he said, they make up. Hey, New York, man, y'all better not go for this, man. Y'all already went for it in Rockland 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, or 5-6 years ago. It's already happened, y'all. Hold on, let me come back up, man. It's already happened in New York, man. Pre-lockdown, pre-schmoment. Let's go, y'all, man. Hit that like button, man. Hey, man. Shout out to my brother Red Supreme TV1. Hey, man, when niggas is up here dropping real live game and putting y'all up on real live info that we really need to be talking about and discussing, man, and be concerned with versus this bullshit we've been concerned with for the past, since this whole situation started in 2020. Man, if we don't sit up here and pay attention to what's really going on, man, do y'all understand what this legislation is saying? I keep telling y'all, man.
Are you in New York? Well, you better not cough, because if you do, they can take you away. As a matter of fact, even if you're not coughing, they can take you away. Under the new Rule 2.13, isolation and quarantine procedures gives the state of New York the ability to come into your home and take you away to quarantine without any notice for any virus or infection they they deem necessary. You don't even have the option to fight it. You don't even get due process. It's not like, a 5150 in California where you get that 72-hour hold to make sure that you're not dangerous. No, you get hauled off. They don't even tell you where they're going to take you. They don't even tell your family where they're going to take you. And if you refuse to open the door, they'll kick it in, even though there's no reasonable, articulable suspicion whatsoever, let alone probable cause, and no warrant, and no due process after. I think I already mentioned that. Why would anybody stay there? I wonder. I mean, this is horrible. But you also get too high taxes and terrible city services all at the same time. If I lived in New York, I would be moving right now.
Oh, for sure, especially Democratic states. Especially Democratic states.
New York. Let me explain this to you, just in case you don't understand. your wonderful governor, Governor Hochul, is supporting and is on the front lines of supporting 2.13, which as of now, she's got a grip on it. It is being appealed, and I'm sure it will be overturned. But that's not the point. The point is the person who's your leader is advising that the police can come into your house, your apartment, your condo at will. And if they decide to pull you out because they think that you should be quarantined, whether you're sick or not, it's their authority and their choice to be able to pull you out of your home. And by the way, it doesn't put, there's no restrictions. It could be your grandmother at 87 years old. It could be your newborn child at 3 months old. So if you're a Democrat, I'm going to reach out to you right now because you are the people that have put this person into power. And if you're okay with your family members in the state of New York, thank God I'm based out of Las Vegas, Nevada, so Governor Hochul can shove it up your ass. But if she gets and is allowed to get away with this, where do you think it's coming next? So I'm going to tell you Los Angeles, Chicago, Philadelphia,
sir,
to all the Democratic
Detroit,
sanctuary cities.
Yeah. Us, Columbus, Ohio,
New York to get away with this and put you into camps,
Baltimore,
without no lawyers, no courts, at will.
Indianapolis, Cincinnati.
Then you all again will get exactly what you deserve. Now, the last time I looked, I'm an American, and this is the United States of America.
Talk to him.
The last time I looked, this is not 1942 Gestapo Germany, where they're pulling my family members outside their house and putting them into concentration camps, winding up in gas chambers overseas. Stand up for your country now.
What I've been telling y'all.
Stand up for your country now.
Shout out to this brother.
I'm speaking out to every Democrat in New York and New York City. If you allow your Governor Hochul, which you put in there into power, get away with this, forget about what you know about the United States of America. It will be completely different and unrecognizable for years and times to come. That's all I gotta say about that. Midnight, I am out. What you think?
Shout out to that brother right there, man, because that's a fact. Right?
Stop. Y'all gonna want to hear this new bill that just passed not too long ago about New York FEMA camps.
New York State is still fighting for the right to set up quarantine camps. Today, the battle entered the next phase when the court heard oral arguments in the case. NTD's Ariane Pastar spoke with the lead attorney and a state senator involved in the case.
Quarantine camps in the state of New York. Governor Kathy Hochul and Attorney General Letitia James want to implement Rule 2.
Now I feel like I got to look into Hochul and who's funding her, who funded her campaign, who got her up in there. Right? New York State, stand the fuck up, man. What's going on with y'all in New York? Let me cam up on you niggas real quick, man. What's going on with y'all niggas in New York, man? Let them try that shit out here in Ohio, man. We ain't going. Hey, we tooled up. We toned up out this motherfucker. I wish they would. I can't wait. What's up with y'all in New York, man? Y'all letting them take hip-hop away. Y'all ain't saying nothing about the illegal immigrants. And now this. I want y'all to understand the severity of this, man. I want y'all to understand how serious this situation is, especially for you so-called democratic cities. This is straight out of 1984. This is Germany Gestapo shit, man. This is Third Reich shit. Come up in your house, This is stuff they was threatened that they would be doing during Schmoment. It ain't even, listen, they don't even, you don't even got to be sick, man. So y'all in New York, man, y'all got y'all's work cut out for y'all in New York, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, man. Now, I don't know about Columbus, right? Because Columbus might, but I'm telling you, my homeboys down here in Southern Ohio, Southeastern Ohio, let me just tell you, them boys are prepared. I'm gonna just tell you that. Ohio is home to the largest and most sophisticated group of militias in this country. Guess what state is second to us? Oh, yeah. Look into your state militia. Not the state troopers, militia. Y'all remember in the mid to late 90s when the militia movement was real heavy, right before 9/11? And it was a lot of, shout out to all them brothers, man, them patriots back in the day who wasn't going. And they'd have created all this effery, right, to take our minds off of that. Right? We forgot our warrior spirit, man. Right? New York, y'all got to stand up, man. Y'all can't go for this, man. Man, if this was going on in Ohio, man, quit playing with me. You can best believe if this was going on in my city, my state, I'll be front line with it, man. Ain't going. Not at all. Not even a little bit. Y'all better understand what this means, man.
2.13. It would give the state's Department of Health the power to forcibly isolate individuals suspected of carrying a transmittable disease.
Crazy.
This is truly about being able to control citizens for any reason.
New York State Senator George Borrello and lead attorney Bobby Ann Cox sued the state over the rule and won the case last year. However, the state appealed, and on Wednesday, attorneys made their case before an appeals court.
The rule says the Commissioner of Health can pick any place that the Commissioner of Health wants to put you. You have no say.
As you can see in this clip, hundreds of people showed up at the court protesting the idea of.
So they said that they could forcibly put you in a FEMA camp if they feel like you need to be quarantined.
I like this young brother right here, man. He popping on TikTok. You hear me? He be dropping jewels too. I'm gonna reach out to him and see if I can get him to come on the show. This young brother be dropping jewels on the TikTok, man. Shout out to this young brother, man. What's his name?
Are you in New York?
No, that ain't.
Well, you better not call.
That ain't what I just clicked on. Wisdom 66/2. What's his name? What's the young homie name? Wisdom Blast 2.0. Yeah, this young brother right here, man. This young brother got 153,000 followers on TikTok, man. This young brother be dropping jewels, man. I like this young brother. You feel me? I'm going to reach out to him and see if I can get you on the show one time. You feel me? Now, man, listen. What have I been telling y'all, man? What have we been telling y'all? While we sit over here and argue with each other over bullshit, celebrity shit, gender war, fuck bullshit, this is what's going on. This is the real shit that's going on. See, while we being distracted with all of this in New York, right? While we're being distracted with all of the illegal immigrant situation, which is close hand in hand with this situation, of course, right? Ain't it odd? Ain't it odd? Don't y'all find it odd brethren and sistren, don't y'all find it odd that at the same time we getting massive influx of illegal immigrants from Central America, South America, all over the Caribbean, Africa, Middle East, Asia, we get all these illegal immigrants. And at the same time, our major cities, democratic cities, sanctuary city, democratic cities, are being flooded with illegals. Specifically, New York City and New York State passes this. I mean, it comes to the point where it gets so blatantly obvious that the agenda is at foot. And for people to sit up here and deny it, man, for people to sit up here and email me, DM me, talk about some, you sound like a crazy conspiracy theorist, as this stuff is happening in real time. As this stuff is literally happening. Like people like me, like we making it up. Hey, Uncle Diggity, OG, like we making it up. You feel me, LP? Like we just sitting up here making this shit up. You know what I'm talking about, Mr. O? We just sitting up here coming online just making this shit up. Meanwhile, niggas is doing celebrity gossip. Keyword, niggas is doing celebrity gossip. Meanwhile, niggas is, and like I say, man, you know, like, oh, man, listen, do what you do. You feel me? Just keep winning and do what you do. But understand, over, inner, out of extra stand, right? Silence is compliance. That's all I'm going to say, man. A lot of content creators come up out of that New York, man. That New York State, not just New York City. This is a statewide thing, too. This isn't just New York City. It's a statewide thing. Can you imagine that, man? Can you imagine police coming to your house, no search warrant, arrest you, take you off to some location undisclosed, and you don't even have to be sick. Indefinitely. Think about that, man. Hey, bruh, that's some real shit you just said right there, OG. If people can march and ride for a dope fiend ass nigga, God bless the dead. If in fact he's dead, if he's dead, rest in the essence to the brother. We can't deny or escape from what it is. Nigga was not only a dope fiend, but he was a dope fiend that was getting some money because he was a big time D-boy in the city. Pushing big boy dope. Huh? My whole thing is this, y'all. Shout out to Larry Gators. How in the hell did George Floyd get found with counterfeit money on his person that had the same serial code on it as money that was discovered to be laundered from China, over $1 million worth, not even a month before that situation happened? How many of y'all knew about that? But, you know, it ain't disrespectful to somebody who is allegedly, possibly more than likely dead. It's not disrespectful or desecrated to call them a dope fiend if that's what they was. And it was a dope fiend ass nigga. Very connected dope fiend ass nigga. Prince Hall Freemason had it splayed across his chest. And here we have in New York State the passing of Rule 2.13. Now, when I hear 2.13, y'all want to know what I hear? Y'all want to know what I hear when I hear Rule 2.13? Shout out to Kev, man. Rest in the essence of Kev, man. Right? Shout out to Kev, man. That nigga Kev, I related to Kev on a lot of ways because he was a nerd nigga like me for real, man. When it come to pop culture and shit like that, right?
Wait, I think you'll be needing this. Thank you, Cody. Now let's get a move on.
No, that's not what I wanted.
Wait.
Please, bro.
I don't wanna go cause you're like 30 years now, and I don't wanna go cause you're 11.
Hey, I gotta say, man, that is pretty lame though to call yourself a content creator and all your content consists of is playing like Kevin Samuels videos straight. Like that's terrible, man.
What I want, babe. You know that I wanna stay this way forever.
Hi, how are you?
Can I not be on video, please?
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 23.
All right. So what do you got for me on the topic?
I was just speaking on that mothers don't leave us anything to live on. So it's like the same as the first caller, and she said that her mother wanted to get married. She wanted her to live like life even though she was married. And I come from a traditional home. My mother is married for 30 years now. Sorry, I'm nervous.
It's okay.
My mother is married for like 30.
Wait, I think you'll be needing this. Thank you, Cody. Now let's get a move on. We've got a battle to win here. Yes, sir.
Order 66.
Yes, my lord.
Oh, they silly.
Clone troop. Execute order 66.
Oh, that tripping. That was funny. I don't know where in this video where Kev says something about this.
I wanted to get to.
I could do that. I just didn't want to disappoint mom. Or
Thank you very much. Let me put it up on the damn screen, people. There it is. Darth Sidious, people. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Even in this culture, you got women out overstepping their boundaries and daughters.
Right. Now, they wasn't saying about no bras. I'm just talking about Order 66. That's what I hear. When I hear Rule 2.3, I hear execute Order 66. Right? You feel me? All right. Execute Order 66, Jack. You feel me? That's what I hear when I hear Rule 213. I hear Order 66. Right? 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 Listen here, y'all, man. New York, stand up, my brethren, my sistren. I stand with y'all in solidarity, man. Do not go for that, man. All you police officers out there in New York State, all throughout the various cities, the heavy populated ones, New York City, Buffalo, Syracuse, you hear me? Rochester, Albany, Schenectady, White Plains, you hear me? All over New York, man. Y'all need to be linking up. See what I tell y'all? Why? Listen here. And this is a perfect example of what I'll be talking about, right? This is a perfect example of what I'll be talking about when I say we got to really get this race thing under control. Do you think this is just for black people in New York? This is for everybody in New York. Everybody. Right? So while, you know, we can sit up here and talk about the whole, you know, with the whole illegal immigration situation, how they're taking away resources that should be given to the inner city people, majority of them us. And I'm not saying that that's not something we should talk about. I'm not saying that that's not important. I'm not saying that that's true. What I'm saying is it's bigger than that. That's not the only issue. We got bigger fish to fry. They are coming for all of us. How many times I gotta tell y'all that? They're coming for all of us. They ain't coming for just us. Let me tell you niggas something, man. How arrogant and cocky it is to think that all the bad stuff is happening to you. I don't do victimhood, man. That's another reason why I'm not pro-black. I'm not B1. I'm not none of that shit, man. Now, don't get me wrong, man. I'm for my people, but not just my people. You dig? I can advocate for what's good for us people while also being a proud champion for all people. Because I tell y'all, they're coming for all of us. Now, do you think Rule 2.13 only applies to niggas in New York? Don't y'all know that niggas only live in New York City, Rochester, Buffalo, and Syracuse? Niggas don't live nowhere else in fucking New York. Maybe some niggas in Niagara Falls, New York. Niggas is concentrated in 4 cities in New York: Rochester, Buffalo, Syracuse, and New York City. You think it's black folks in White Plains? Probably a couple. How about Albany, New York? How many black folks you think live in Albany, New York, the capital? Man, listen, y'all, man. It's about to get crazy out here, man. See, we don't do fear-mongering over here. This is confirmation of information, y'all. This ain't nobody spewing conspiracy theories. This is not nobody, you know, putting stuff together to paint a picture to, you know, emotionally grab you by the heartstrings and make you think or feel a certain way. No, this is facts. This is law in New York State. This is law. I want y'all to understand this is law enacted by the very governor. Like homeboy just said, y'all the one that put them in there voting for them. Man, y'all see why I say what's the point of voting? Do you think it would be any different if Republicans was running shit in New York? This is crazy, man. This is absolutely insane. And one thing I'm going to tell you about Ohio, man, we wouldn't go for that. I'm just letting you, we ain't going. Wish they would. especially to my brothers down here in southeastern Ohio. They don't want no smoke with them boys down there. Them boys been waiting for stuff like this for years, literally decades. They've been preparing, waiting for this shit. It's a very serious situation, man. And I want y'all to enter out of understand how serious stuff like this is. Right? And us amongst us that are the real ones, man, we can't sit up here and continue to get in these conversations that are frivolous, meaningless, of no importance, of no significance whatsoever. Outside of that, the stuff that has a little bit of that really don't compare to this type shit, I think we should like really kind of fall back on that, man. And I'm with my brother Red 100% on that. You know what I'm saying? I think it's getting to a critical mass where we ain't got time to be talking about no bullshit for real, man. That's just me though, right? I'm not ever one to tell nobody what they should be talking about. You talk about whatever the hell you want, but what I'm absolutely going to do is bring awareness and use my platform to talk about this shit and put people up on game and all that, right? Because like I always say, out of that comes conversations. Out of conversations comes plans of action, and out of plans of action comes things into fruition, man. If y'all don't think this is serious, then hey, that's on you. Like I said, I'm not one of these. I'm not a moral finger wagger. I'm only speaking to my people who got the ears to hear and the eyes to see. Right? A lot of y'all tapping in, that may be y'all, that may not be y'all. Right? But I know my brethren in the comment section, I know they know that this is very serious. What you gonna do? The police pull up in your lab, man? What you gonna do? The police pull up in your crib, man? Pull up in your house, your home, your condo, your apartment, your whatever, and tell you gotta come with us. Now keep in mind when I said your average human wouldn't do this to another human. So keep that in mind. So who y'all think? Listen here, y'all. I'm gonna be real frank with y'all, man. Who do you think, when all the human officers, I remember I told y'all about that, start issuing these home health assessment officers? Look up that term, y'all. Home health assessment officer. Not home health aide. Home health assessment officer. Google that. Anyway, this is crazy, y'all, man. New York, y'all better not, man. Y'all best not. The fact that something, man, that it's just crazy to me, man. It is absolutely insane to me, man.
New York State is still fighting for the right to set up quarantine camps today. The battle entered the next phase when the court heard oral arguments in the case. NTD's Ariane Pastar spoke with the lead attorney and a state senator involved in the case.
Quarantine camps in the state of New York. Governor Kathy Hochul and Attorney General.
Huh?
This is definitely the scariest video I've ever made. It's not just for New York City, it's for the entire state of New York. We are all gonna have to run and get the fuck out of here. Let me explain to what happened over the weekend. Rule 213. Anybody remember what Rule 213 was supposed to be? Or what it is now? Over a year ago, Governor Hochul tried to have something come in place called Rule 213, where the state can come remove you from your home and put you into quarantine. And I'm not talking about C-19. I'm talking about any disease, including Lyme disease, toxic shock syndrome, things that aren't even contagious, okay? This happened last March. It was approved to go through until a bunch of lawyers sued them for it. And the judge appealed it. They said, this is not going to go through. No thanks, goodbye. Until this past September, when Governor Hochul appealed that decision. He followed up with the New York State Supreme Court Appellate Division, 4th Judicial Department. Both sides gave their argument. Hochul's lawyers saying, oh, it's not going to be as bad as you think, while the other lawyers saying what the nightmare will be if this goes through. Number one, there's no age restriction. It could be a newborn baby. It could be your grandparents. It could be you who just gave birth. There are no restrictions to removing the person that needs to come out and go in quarantine. Could be in the middle of the night, middle of the day, while you're at work. Doesn't matter. They take you. You have no right. There is no due process. There are no court hearings. There is also no time duration limit. You are there until they tell you you can leave. You are forced also to take whatever medicine that they give you, whatever vaccine that they decide is good for you. On that list also includes experimental drugs. They are allowed to experiment with your body to see if something will work. I'm not making this shit up. This is all listed on the appeal. The worst part is you are not allowed to take a test to prove that you are not even sick. They don't care about test results. If they deem you to be a problem, they just take you out and put you into a quarantine. If you look up on Google, some web.
Man, y'all see it, man? Y'all better understand how serious this is. This is not a joke. This ain't no game.
Rochester played host to the dispute over a COVID regulation which was previously ruled unconstitutional. Advocates gathered outside the appellate court on Rochester's East Avenue.
This is definitely the scariest video I've.
Rochester played host to the dispute over a COVID regulation which was previously ruled unconstitutional. Advocates gathered outside the appellate court on Rochester's East Avenue as the court heard the final arguments in an appeal to this ruling. Some background here: in July of last year, Republican State Senator George Borrello and other plaintiffs won a lawsuit against the governor as well as the New York State Department of Health over a regulation that would ultimately allow the Commissioner of Health to issue isolation or quarantine orders in order to control the spread of the disease. The judge struck that regulation down, saying it violated constitutional separation of powers. In March of this year, New York Attorney General Letitia James filed an appeal on behalf of the governor and the DOH to try and reverse the ruling. Outside the courtroom this morning, Borrello, his attorney, and supporters of the original ruling doubling down on the fact.
Man, listen, man. man, right? So all the democratic cities, this is something that's on the way, right? Listen here, my brethren and sisters in New York State, man, all over New York State, because this ain't just New York City. This is a statewide thing. Listen, just don't go. Y'all need to be going to holler at y'all's policing agencies all over the state, wherever city you live in. Y'all need to be going to holler at them and hold them accountable. Their job is to protect and serve the people. Or is it? I keep telling y'all, police officers, they're not peace officers or patrol men. They are police policy officers. They're here to protect and serve the policy. Uniform Commercial Code, statutes, ordinances, zoning laws. They're not here to protect you, Sandra Bland, Freddie Gray, Trayvon Martin, George Floyd. I'll keep going. Tamir Rice, Orlando Castillo. I'll keep going. Right? I'll keep going. Man, I just be telling, hey, listen, y'all, man, be aware, man, be vigilant, right? Inform yourself, man. Listen, y'all. especially if you live in the state of New York or any Democratic state or city. I live in Columbus, Ohio. We are a Democratic city, not a Democratic state, but the Democrats definitely run Columbus. This is a Democratic district. I think the whole city council is Democrats in Columbus. I think everybody that is in any type of political position in Columbus is a Democrat. I don't know of any Republicans in this area that we got. I mean, that I know of. Like I said, I know of. Go inform yourself on this stuff, man. I'm gonna take my glasses off, man, for one, scratch my arm. Also, let y'all know how serious this is, man. This ain't no joke, y'all, man. This is serious. This is very serious. This is very serious, man. You know, and it should. I ain't gonna say what it should do. Let me box cleverly, right? I would like to think that this would spark a flare in the people. I would like to think that. Because I'm telling you right now, out here in Ohio, we ain't going. I ain't going. I've been to prison before. I'm not going to prison for something. I'm not going to prison for not breaking the law. Even according to the demonic-based Hippocratic oath, that's not something that is should I say acceptable. No, I didn't say allowable. I said acceptable. Huh? Man, you already know what it is, man. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, man. We're about to get out here, man. Like I said, we're going to keep these shows under 2 hours, man. We're going to get up through. I appreciate everybody for coming out. Listen, y'all, New York, y'all sit up there and don't let this go down. Y'all don't acquiesce and comply to this, man. Y'all sit up there and go against this hard, son. Pause. Right? Oh, damn, I didn't mean to be this one. I'm tripping.
Power on.
Y'all sit up there and go hard against this, man. You hear me?
Bluetooth connected.
For real, man. Don't let these people spook y'all and scare y'all and try to intimidate y'all into acquiescing and complying. Y'all should be banding together by the thousands, tens of thousands, 20, 30, hundreds, millions, thousands, millions in the state of New York. Y'all should put all y'all's petty ass differences to the side, link up with each other, create lines of communication, interact, engage, share information, and y'all need to be up on this. Y'all need to put the police on warning that if they try to do this illegal, unlawful, unconstitutional shit, we ain't going. That's what y'all need to be on in New York. Flat out. Thank y'all for joining the show tonight, man. Tomorrow we're going to get to it. I don't got a topic yet. I'll make a post for it. You know, talking about I got a special poll I got going on Facebook to pick the topic of the show for Ladies Night tomorrow. So whenever the poll is over, I think I'll do it for 11 o'clock tonight. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go ahead and sit up there and make the post for the show and stuff. Man, I appreciate y'all coming out, man. I'm going to try to keep these shows under 2 hours, no more than like 2 minutes and hours and 5 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all coming out. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. Of course, share on your social engineering. You know what I'm talking about. Rule 2.13, y'all. New York Rule 213, man. New York, don't let them do it, man. You feel me? Don't let them do it. See y'all, man. We're going to see y'all tomorrow, man. Tap in, walk with us, man. You feel me? Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, man. Share social engineering, man. We see y'all tomorrow. Have a good evening, man. Hey, man, may the Most High bless y'all with his unchanging, powerful covering hands. You did? Stay awake. Forget about being woke. To be woke is to be asleep. I woke up at 4:15 this morning, and I have been awake ever since. You only woke when you sleep.
We bringing this message to you, fake woke niggas.
Tap in, walk with us, man. Shout out to all my brothers in the chat, man. Uncle DDL, Parker, OG, everybody. Dan Patrick, SL Pro, Mr. O, let's go. Tox Beats, OG.
So I dance around them like my name was Ivan. Fake broke niggas be surrounding me daily.
Alarm clock to the wall, time to wake them up.
Fake broke niggas be surrounding me daily. So I dance around them like my name was Ivan. Fake broke niggas be surrounding me daily.
Alarm clock to the wall, time to wake them up.
I gotta set the alarm, wake you up from the slumber. Floyd and Harry, fake woke niggas, y'all dumping dumbass. Drop jewels, but people don't pay any attention. Now let's see immediately, we the wake them up henchmen.
A lot of times these woke niggas be really sleep. Shit, the price on a nigga's life is extra real cheap. Only the real for my niggas, we all elite. We made a living eating these rappers, nigga, bon appetit.
Yeah, pause. Me and my brethren be down for the cause. We gotta come together and tear down all these borders and illusory fault lines like racism and bring light to the woke, just like the Baptist.
The congregation spoke. These niggas ain't who they claim to be. A bunch of Peter pop-off niggas really be lame to me. Anytime you at war, it's gonna be casualties. The more we come together, it's easy to beat the enemy.
Fake woke niggas be surrounding me daily, so I dance around them like my name was Alvin 80. Fake woke niggas be surrounding me daily.
Alarm clock to the wall, time to wake them up.
Fake woke niggas be surrounding me daily, so I dance around them like my name was Alvin 80. Fake woke niggas be surrounding me daily.
Alarm clock to the wall, time to wake them up. Alarm clock to the woke, time to wake them up. The main initiative should be to get your cake up. You wave riding niggas need life jackets to stay afloat. Meanwhile, I'm blowing no gas straight from the Ivory Coast.
And every post I be hitting y'all with them straight facts. The smart grid is now here. We gotta face down. While they coming with microchips and vaccinations, fake woke niggas perpetuating indoctrination.
Fuck this pandemic scam. This was a damn gimmick. Niggas will believe that they mom died if she still living. Open your eyes, nigga. You can see the lies, nigga. See, we gotta stop letting the blind lead the blind, nigga.
And that's the biggest fact, bitch. You better tell them niggas listen in the 2030 game. It's gonna be hell, niggas. Over. Fuck AOC and her new Green Deal. I'm Neo in this bitch. You want they red pill.
Good night, y'all.